with the Foundry. Welcome back, guys. Um, yeah, last week we kind of talked about. Dang, what did we talk about last week? Marketing funnels. We talked about funnels
Yes.
and how funnels work. Um, this week I think we're going to do an open-ended Q&A because initially we're going to do an email follow-up, but we're going to give a little bit more shape and structure to the email one, and we're probably going to do that as a course because there's a lot of really kind of boring technical stuff. So what we wanted to do for this episode. This is an open-ended Q&A. You got two marketers here, people who've run multi-million dollar campaigns for businesses and stuff like that. So pick our brains. We're here to kind of answer your questions. So, and this might be the format that we go with moving forward. Let's see. Chat. Who's in the chat? Yep. Real marketing knowledge. Oh, that's us. That's our plug. This is our call to action right here.
Yeah, there you go.
Um, the thing is, guys, Brian and I have been having a lot of different conversations and just talking about one of the things we talked about is the implementation gap. A lot of times, the tendency to want to build, and never deploy. And it affects us too. But we know for business owner stands, it impacts you guys.
I'm probably one of the biggest offenders of this for my own company. To a fault, I sometimes will hyper focus on clients and genuinely forget about myself and my business, which works to the client's advantage, but it doesn't help me grow my business more than I
Right.
want. At the pace I want it to go. And I was just talking to Brian off camera, and that's kind of why we decided to do this kind of open office type of live stream. And I'm with you. This might be the format going forward, just because we have such great conversations, and we always stop ourselves and go, "We should talk about this live
Hmm.
stream."
Yeah.
But I'm one of the biggest offenders of the implementation gap for myself. Um, and Brian's kind of coaching me on the side here about how I just need to post stuff. I just need to do it. Nike had it right for the last 40 years. You know, just do it. And I need to focus in, and I think what I'm going to do is like maybe 1 day a week, Brian. I mean, you can tell me like 1, 2 days a week, just focus on content, no meetings,
Yeah.
no client work, just focus and do my own thing for the whole entire day and do it, get it out, and be done.
Yeah. That's I think, and for a lot of people, specifically because this goes into when I have my clients and stuff. I learned the hard way that editing slows you down because when you start editing, you start self-editing. And the things that may be the most valuable to your customers, you don't like the way you look, your eyes may look, your eyes, you don't like the way the lighting is and all this other stuff. All the stuff that people don't really pay attention to. Because we got to remember a lot of times when we're creating videos, people are listening to your video more than they're actually watching your video. And so the things that you're fretting about, I did one shoot last week where I'm like, I'm completely tanked out. I have nothing left. I s- I still got to record because this is what I want to do, and so I'm doing the good enough recording. And I did it, and I look back, the lighting was bad. The shadow was on, like I had a big shadow on my face,
Yeah.
and I started like, I hate this, and I just said, all right, let's find the best version of this and send it out there. Um, we think a lot of times when we're business owners, we think that one that one low effort, or I hate to say low effort, but that's really what it is. That one minimal effort thing that we put out there is going to sink our business, and it is not.
Right.
It is not.
It's actually the quite opposite. The more garbage you put out, and I don't mean to say it like that either. More lesser quality stuff that you put out, it's going to get. I know this, and even I can't. I have problems implementing it, but I know
Mhm.
that it's just like any other muscle. You get the reps in, it's going to get better and better and better. And that's you could take any top YouTuber, any content creator out there. You can go back and they started, and if you compare them to their first videos, they were terrible,
Yeah.
like terrible, shooting on like a potato. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we all, and I think there's some other things we can't be. The Casey Neistats of the world. We can't be that. He is him. He has his personality allows him to focus in on create these things that people can't
Mhm.
create. They seem simple when you see the finished product,
Right.
and you could mimic it because he's already done all the work,
Mhm.
but it's not going to be him. It's
Yeah.
not going to be, it's not you either. And I struggle with that. I struggle with that because I mean, he started putting out more content recently, and it's like I watch every single one of them just like I did 10 years ago. And they're not much different than they were 10 years ago, but damn if they aren't pulling me in for 10, 12 minutes.
Well, look at it like this, especially with Casey Neistat, right? How much effort does he put into making it look low effort?
Probably way more than we even can dream of.
Yeah. He puts a lot of effort into making his material, his stuff look like it's no effort at all, and raw. There's a reason why that he does that. And I think because he inherently understands the advantage that content that doesn't look like it's over engineered and overproduced, like it's an advantage now on social media, because if it looks too polished, it looks like somebody's commercial. And
100%.
I think we have to embrace that part of it, where because it might be a generational thing, right? You look at TikTok, you look at Reels, and these kids, I say kids, they're 20, 30 years old,
Hmm.
but these kids are out here just doing stuff with their smartphones, vertical mode with their smartphone. Most they might have an Osmo Pocket or something. Um, it's well lit, but not incredible. They're not trying to be visual artists. They're just
Hmm.
recording a skit. They're even holding the little mic that you're supposed to clip on. They hold it and talk into it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Seen
and
one
one of the
guy with
things
one
is
attached to his hat.
like I have this, right? That's what this is for. You stick the little
Mm,
microphone on this, and I use this for some videos, but like there's a thing on TikTok and Instagram Reels where the trend is you clip the microphone to like a wooden spoon.
mhm.
That's the game. Like that's what you do. You do that purposefully, intentionally.
Right.
And I'm like, a spoon? Really? Like, I guess, you know?
Well, it comes from, and I'm wondering because I'm kind of riffing here, but I wonder if that instinct does come for us specifically. I do wonder if that instinct to want to show up in this massive way comes from how we grew up, where the only thing we've ever witnessed, the only thing we ever saw were well shot television shows. The
Polished stuff, yeah.
YouTubers we started out, the YouTubers started out with were really super polished. Their stuff looked more polished, right?
Right.
And so, I wonder if we don't have a bias to that
Yeah.
and showing up like that.
I read an article the other day too that's interesting on this same topic with different generations and stuff. The younger generation, Gen Z, is, and this includes my like 12-year-old
Mhm.
daughter, are really into podcasts.
Yep.
Like it's trending up for that generation. Like that's what they consume the most,
Mhm.
and that's interesting for me too. So it's like stuff like this is on trend, which is weird, you know?
Well, what was big when we were growing up? It was you had Montel Williams, Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, Sally to a degree, Donahue. It was talk shows.
Right.
Podcasts are talk shows now.
That's true. Like in the summer, I can remember this is real young Brian
Mhm.
in the 80s. Um, my older sisters in high school would watch. That's what they'd do. They'd be watching, Geraldo and you
Mhm.
know Jerry and everybody.
And that was, and so now podcasting has taken that over. I tell people podcasting has taken over AM radio and talk shows.
100%.
And a lot of times I've seen podcasts where it looks super clean, but that means they're shooting on somebody's iPhone or something. I think people are drifting more towards that's how you show up. Like even right now, I'm like, all right, how do I fix my lights and stuff like that? Do I need to buy another one of these things and whatnot just so that I can have the light I want? But then I'm like, I don't want to over engineer it because people are responding to what I'm doing.
Yeah, like I'm freaking out right now that my camera's tilted, so my bookcase looks tilted behind me,
Mhm.
driving me nuts. It's
Yeah.
been driving me nuts since I turned on the camera, you know?
Yeah, but nobody noticed until you said it.
Right, now I gotta fix it because I said
It's
it.
so that's alright. You guys will see me playing around with my lights and everything. Yesterday, my wife was over there talking, I waved at her. If my kids come down to go outside, I wave at them and talk to them and stuff because it's live TV, and that's how I feel about it. And I think for bit now, how does this tie into what business owners do? I think there's this obsession, and this is one of my biggest gripes with the big marketing, a lot of the big marketing companies that people pay. Um, this obscene obsession with professionalism
Mhm.
and showing up professional. I want to look like a professional. And when they show up professional, I'm not saying you show up in your underwear with stains on your shirt. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm
Right.
talking about this obsession with I have to show up in this super polished, overly presented, sterile way where none of my business's personality seeps through any of it. And I feel like I think that's a hindrance that a lot of businesses are encountering when they want to start posting on social media. They're too biased with how having a specific aesthetic and looking a specific way.
100%. 100%. And again, like you were just saying, maybe it's just us, maybe like what clicks, what vibe works best with me, but the whole corporate super unless your industry dictates that,
Mhm.
because that can happen. I understand that. I can't stand the sterile corporate, let me put on, you know, for the marketing industry, let me put on the blue sport coat
Mhm.
with the light blue uh, button up underneath, no tie, and they all look the same to me. And I can't. I got into a this is about 4 years ago. I got into a bad Reddit argument with people because I was
Mhm.
like, I don't do that. Um, I walk into boardrooms with, you know, a hoodie sometimes.
Right.
I mean, I'm still look clean and I'm professional, but like I want to be comfortable and I'm ready to work, you know?
Well, that's who you are.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times there's this bias to want to show up like IBM. Like, like everybody you want to look everybody wants to look like this super polished version. And yeah, not every corporate like some corporate like Union Pacific, I can think Union Pacific would want to show up like that. Um, you know,
Mutual of Omaha.
ConAgra, Mutual of
Yeah.
Omaha, things along those lines, legacy kind of businesses, Berkshire and things along those lines. But
Charles
for
Schwab, all those. Yeah.
but the thing that makes small businesses amazing is you get a person's personality from their business.
Hmm.
And if you strip all the personality and life out of your creative, where you don't show anything, a show of you guys having fun or where it looks too polished, I feel like that hurts how clients see you. One I can always give a shout out to is Pampered Pet Spa. Easy, cute dogs. Just record cute dogs and cats. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to show the cats and dogs are taken care of and happy. And
Right.
that does more for your more for your bottom line and growing your channel and your footprint than anything else. Because and seeing cute animals drops that serotonin and then, it brings out that serotonin in your brain and it makes you happy, you know. And I
Yeah.
think
And I think, I don't want to generalize it too much and make people like turn off, like be turned off by like y- how they dress or whatever.
Mhm,
It really comes down to what makes you comfortable and authentically you,
right.
right? That's what the focus should be. And I'm saying for me, it's this way. I'm a little unpolished looking,
Mhm,
but that's because I'm here to work. I'm not here to show you that I can buy a suit
yeah.
and put on a suit. I'll put
Show
one on if I need to,
Yeah, I don't
you
need to show
know?
you how fancy I look in my I get it. You don't need to show people how fancy you look in your suit. And I think, from the marketer standpoint, I don't need to show you that I know how to do this specific camera angle or, you know, the parallax zoom thing, from the old Hitchcock movies. I know how to do all that stuff with
Right.
the power zoom. I don't want to. I don't
Yeah.
want to. I'm shooting on a
100%.
webcam. Like I got my mirrorless camera right here. Like I have it right here. I'm
Right.
pointing at it right now. I have it. I've used it before. I like my mirrorless cam. I like my webcam for stuff where I'm talking to the, you know. I'll use it when I feel like I need to. But I think maybe the point I'm getting at is people use that as a crutch for not showing up at all.
Yeah. 100%.
And unfortunately, that not showing up at all is more detrimental than showing up unprofessional, unpolished, or whatever. You know?
I think I'm just gonna. I don't want to beat this horse, but I think authentically is how you need to show up. So whatever you're
Mhm.
comfortable in, and I don't mean your PJs, and I'm not trying to just stick on the clothing thing, but
Yeah.
like um showing up with who you are. Like I want to show an image here real quick. This is the CEO of Liquid Death. It's
Mhm.
water, people. It's water. Don't let it fool you.
Yeah.
But I love this guy's story. So look at this guy, right? Mike Cesario,
Mhm.
worth 700, $800 million by doing water. Came out of the super corporate advertising world, right? Um, this is what he looks like in almost every single interview. He's rough, tatted up, t-shirts, you know. He doesn't he's there for the business and he's there for the game, not
Yeah.
to please anybody else, but to be authentically him,
Right.
right? And that's kind of, I don't know how we got on this topic, but that's I wish I could do more of that, and I think that's where I'm like leaning on Brian here a little bit, is like how do I stop auditing myself before I even shoot
Mhm.
content, to be more authentically me and who I am and not be afraid to be that more contrarian, you know, side of this industry, and
Yeah.
help people, because I genuinely enjoy. I had this conversation off camera 20 minutes ago. I genuinely enjoy going in and fixing things for people in their business.
Yeah.
Genuinely makes me super, you know, dopamine dumps when that happens. Um, but I don't want to do it in a way that's like, you know, I hate discovery sessions. I hate all that shit. Just tell me where you're broken. And if you can't figure out, I'll help you figure out where you're broken. And then I come in and I can fix that problem.
You
Guaranteed fix the problem.
you just did your first video. Like that was your first video.
That's
I
right.
hate discovery sessions. Tell me what I need to fix.
Yeah.
And you just put a little bit of verbiage around it, record it, and post it. And don't look at it. Cause that's the problem. It's it's the act of recording and then the process of editing. And then when you start editing, you start noticing all the flaws and how this other stuff that nobody else is going to notice, like the bookshelf
Hmm.
stuff. And then you don't put it out there. And the thing that defeats all of that is moving fast. Just move fast, leave the mistakes in, and just blast it out there. Because that was authentic, that's real, and you just gave a distillation of who you are as a marketer. You've worked on the high upper end this of this industry, but you just want to come in and fix it. Like you don't want to do a discovery session. I don't want to do a discovery call. I don't want to go
Yeah.
through all the rigmarole that other these marketing agencies do. Um, you know,
The
and
17 meetings,
yeah,
the big boardrooms, and 17 egos inside of a room, all thinking they need to say something
yeah.
because they feel that that's their job, is to find and critique something. Whether there's anything to critique or not, they still critique something because they feel that's what they need to do, and it's such a waste of time.
Well, they feel like they have to rationalize their paycheck, and
Right.
that's what it turns into. The pitch decks and all that other stuff. I don't ever want to do that. and I've done it before, and I don't want to do it again. And
Yeah.
so I think you got to wrap your arms around showing up just the way you just did. I don't want to do all that stuff. All these people in the boardroom have these conversations that are really not about
Right.
what the marketing is supposed to do. It's all the aesthetics and all the other stuff. We talked about brand. Yes, brand is important so that people know who they're watching, but people don't, and I've said this before, people don't make a determination about your brand until they've experienced your service.
Right. Yeah.
Most people.
And I'll let
And
you in on the inside of the branding industry because I've done it for many years now where I've developed brands. And over the years it started with like I'd do a long ass back and forth discovery session and an audit, and we'd figure out what colors they like and what colors the other four people like in the company. And you go back and forth and back. Someone wouldn't fill it out because they're too busy, and you gotta, you drag all this info, you're trying to drag data, right?
mhm,
Whereas I whittled it down to now where it's I walk in the room and I go, okay, I just ask directly, give me these details about the company. Give me 3 weeks. I'll
mhm,
give you 3 brands. I'll develop 3 styles. You guys vote on one.
mhm.
And that worked every single time I've done it now. I've taken a 3-month process and turned it into a 1-month process, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Uh, So you just hit on something that might be $1 million idea for you. It's people pay for speed, right?
Yeah.
If you can lose weight, if tomorrow I said I have a program that'll make you drop 30 pounds by tomorrow without injuring you or harming your personal health or anything along those lines, all you got to do is do these specific exact things in the sequence I laid them out, and it costs $1,000. How many people would pay me $1,000 for it?
A shit ton.
Right.
All
Um,
right, so I put an ad out that says I'm the Ozempic for your business.
yeah. The Ozempic for your business. I cut the fat. I
Yeah,
mean, or how long did you say it takes for the brand thing for you? You're taking a you're taking you're
I can get
taking
done in 3 weeks, depending. I usually about a month, I'd say overall.
so yeah, I would say the 30-day brand kit.
Yeah,
You give me all the details of your business in 30 days. I send you 3 things that your brand could be.
yeah,
And with the pain you're saving them is these multiple meetings, these back and forth with all these different confederates, having to deal with people's egos clashing and things along those lines. You give them professional branding stuff for a fraction of the time because oftentimes, you end up getting paid. There's a retainer, or they can pay you up front or whatnot. Sometimes they pay you by your work hours, and a lot of times these agencies they make sure that they maximize out their billable hours.
100%.
And so that's why they don't mind showing up for 12,000 different meetings to sit there and talk about the shape of an M,
Yeah,
or the shade and hue of this color and things like that. And so you're for the CEO that doesn't have the time for the bullshit. And I think that that's actually a strong positioning statement for business owners that want to move with speed, because I think we're starting to see what happens when you overstay your welcome. We're seeing a lot of these AI companies kind of struggling with this, where they didn't necessarily innovate and move with speed. And so now you're kind of seeing a little bit of the bubble bursting because you can't just slap AI and everything and sell it to people.
right. And it's getting bad. I mean, I'm seeing, um, you name it, local nonprofits, uh, whatever, that are using AI, and they're all using the same
Mhm.
graphic interface or whatever, or they're using Canva, and Canva's just you. I'll go down that rabbit hole here in a second too. They're all using the same models, and they're spitting out the same stuff, so you look like everything else, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. Brian's right. It's the AI bubble is it's at the very least everything's slowing down,
Well, and I think the
right?
AI bubble's gonna look a little more like what you said, whereas everybody's just showing up the same. You can scroll through 1,000 different websites, they all look the same, right? And like I said, I'll show you this because we talked about it. I think we put this on the page before. Nice stat. I'm gonna go to his website.
Oh, yeah.
Go to CaseyNeistat.com. And for those that don't know, we keep saying Casey Neistat. Casey Neistat is one of the OGs of the videography space on YouTube. Okay.
They call him the godfather of vlogging.
Yep. And he's turned it into, parlayed it into some brand deals and consultancy gigs where he's basically telling businesses and
S-
stuff like
So it's
that.
so what's a funny story about him, and this kind of works with everybody here listening, is that his vlogging started as a way to bring attention to his media company, Beam,
Yeah.
Beam, and it eventually got bought by CNN for $25 million or something.
Right.
So not only did he become one of the top YouTubers in the world, he brought attention to his media company in New York City and got bought out by CNN.
Yeah. It's really simple. Look at it. This is his website, guys. You go to CaseyNeistat.com. This is his
Yeah, and it's
website.
not broken. This is
Uh,
not this is what it is.
it has links to his YouTube, Instagram, go to his IG. And and his videography style is a lot of Dutch angles and off angles and kind of just putting things together the way that he can and what he does in his downtime, you know, mountain climbing, snowboarding, things along those lines. But
Mhm.
um a lot of his content is based on that. But this is his site. This is his website. And I guarantee you there's a lot of deliberation in showing up like this.
Yeah.
I promise you. See, there it is. I clicked on the contact. Are you trying to contact me for a business inquiry or something else? That routes it to one email or another email, you know? And so because if you
It's
hover
funny.
over it, because it
Something
says
else is a reject.
contact slash work related, and then the other one says contact slash reject. So if you're not contacting for a business inquiry, don't contact them.
Yeah.
And the OnlyFans one was always interesting. Oh my God, couldn't you imagine? Like that's the only thing he has on there. OMG, could you imagine? It's
Yeah.
the simplest interface, but it's super effective for his business model. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of business owners need to kind of steal some of that. What is the thing that works for your business model that doesn't work for anything else? And stop worrying about the aesthetics of having to have the, you know, design. Because here's the other side. But even before AI, and Brian, you can attest to this. I've complained to you about this before. Um, I can tell there's some specific marketing agencies. I can look at somebody's website and say, oh, this is who designed this website
Yeah.
because they designed this website, this website, this website, this website. They look different, but they look the same.
Yes.
And I've seen it.
And the same thing happened with web design in, like, I don't know, 2016. That's going to happen with AI.
Mhm.
Everybody looks the same. They have the video up top on their website with a little button, and then they all look identical. Look
Mhm.
at construction websites. Pick one. Pick HVAC, construction, home remodeling, whatever. They all look the same.
Right.
The colors might be different, but they all look the same. And I want to go back a little bit to, like, and take a little. We talked a little bit about this with the tools.
Yeah.
What some people don't realize is stuff like Canva, while it's easy to use, and I'm not poo-pooing people using it, I just want people to understand that when you're using that and, like, they want you to pay extra for their AI tool within their product, like Canva has an
Mhm.
AI, it's just ChatGPT or Claude or whatever. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not something special or extra. It's the same thing that we have open to us with going direct to ChatGPT or direct with Claude or Gemini.
Right. It's
I
not
don't know where I
magic,
was going
guys.
with that. Yeah.
It's not magic. And a lot of times they're just selling you whatever they have and it's layered on top of an AI model. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when somebody sells it to you as something completely unique, that's when you start running into the problem. That's where they're trying to get into your pockets and get your money. And I think um collectively as marketers, some of us have to raise our hand and say, "Hey, this is kind of shady," or "I don't mind you using this, but just understand what you're paying for every single month." Um, and yeah, here's the other side. The people that are going to, and I've mentioned this on another podcast I did, the people that are going to thrive in this AI space are going to be the ones that know how to use it to enhance the skill set they already have, as opposed to giving them skills that they didn't possess before. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, you could use AI to learn and learn faster. Like I use Notebook LM to devour information that I don't have time to sit down and assimilate quickly. I've used it for that, but I'm talking about the people that don't use, like, if you've never designed anything in your life, if you've never designed any kind of flyer, any kind of creative in your life, and you just let AI just drive the car, you're going to get a very general output. But if you have design skills and decades of experience, you can optimize AI and use it in ways that your regular user could never even dream of.
Yeah. I think people who was I just listening to? I think it was Gary Vee or something just recently. He put out a video about combining these new tools like AI,
Mhm.
right? You can use AI to help you generate content and help you, figure out what you need to be posting, or hell, you can use our tool that we built that'll help you figure out what to post.
Yep.
Um, but you need to also like blend that. He says blend it with the 1950s stuff, pick up the phone, talk to people, meet people, text every past client if you need to and just say hello. Don't sell to them, just say what's up,
Right.
you know? Nobody does that anymore, and it's exactly why it works right now to like re-up or referrals from people. And I think we talked about this the other day in our in-person networking group, Brian, where like the people that have bought from you in the past are
Mhm.
the easiest ones to sell to because they already know you. They already like you. Um, assuming you've done right by them or whatever.
Right.
So I think these tools are fine. That they're great. Actually, they speed the process up. But and again, I'm guilty of this too. So I want to learn to use. I can consider myself, pretty advanced with AI tools.
Mhm.
So I need to stop over auditing myself. Use the tools like I know how, and just start banging out content. And then
Right.
use my best skill, which is developing systems, systematize that content engine, and then focus on talking to people,
Right.
picking up the phone, meeting them in person.
Yeah. You use it to augment your strengths. And I think
It's like
a lot of
it's like
time
business therapy for me.
for me, I came on like so I was talking to Brian earlier and I'm like, I have an Airtable subscription. I don't I've had it for 2 months. I don't know what Airtable does. I've had it explained to me. I've read all their documentation. I don't know what it does in terms of how it makes money for me, but I was paying a subscription for it. I'm like, I'm about to get rid of it. It doesn't do anything for me. There's no point in me having it because it can't create things that I don't already have. And all
Right.
it is just another thing. Like I've gotten to the point like I'll go with gaps where I don't watch YouTube videos about marketing just because I don't need any new ideas. I don't want any new ideas.
Oh
I
God,
need to
yeah.
execute on the stuff that's already in my brain.
I
And
agree.
you know, that's kind of where I'm at now. Like I'll discover somebody new and if it's really 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 good, I'll share it and take it, but I'm at a point now like I haven't down like I have at least 500 to 1,000 books in my Audible, and like more than 75% of them are about marketing. I've read so many marketing books that I've considered doing a book club just about me doing marketing books, reading marketing books.
Yeah.
Um, and giving you the best, I've read because I've even done the video. I've read 500 marketing books. This is what I've learned, you know. Um,
It
but
always comes back to like two things.
Right. I'm at a point now where I don't wanna download another marketing book. I don't wanna read another marketing book. I don't wanna read anybody else's theory because I need to execute on what's in my brain and prove to either prove what I know makes sense and can work, or do I need to adjust my strategy?
Yeah. And I think that's what I need to focus in on is like the win for me is in the reps. I
Mhm.
need to stop thinking of it like a piece of content. It's a lottery ticket that's going to send me to the moon.
Yes.
You know, I need to stop thinking it that way. Like the people that have blown up in the past, they posted enough to figure out what worked, and then they just took what worked and keep recycling. Not the
Yeah.
same thing. They just like not the same exact content, just the same style, the same whatever they're talking about. You know, that's the most honest system for content that I can dream up.
Well, I think you're onto something there because I feel like narrowly specifically, people the way we talk about content specifically in creating content, we treat it like the lottery. Like my piece of content could go viral. And so if any piece of content can go viral, I have to over engineer every piece of content so that if this one does catch fire, it's perfect. And that's not how things work.
Right. It's not a lottery ticket. I just thought of that like and I feel like that's what I need to like stick in my brain.
Yeah.
Quit thinking of content, a piece of content like a lottery ticket.
Because I can tell you from experience, my one viral clip is one that I saw it go viral. I'm like, oh my God, let me take this down.
Right. This
It
is
was
terrible.
Yeah, this is not what I wanted to lead with at all. But it caught like wildfire, and I had to. And hindsight in 2020, I would have just left it up.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my God. I ended up freaking out because I'm like, I looked down within 5 minutes of posting, it had 1,000 views and it was getting shared like, oh no, no, this isn't
Stop,
even about
stop.
this isn't even about what it was one of those weird out of context clips that's part of a bigger conversation and people are
Right.
immediately jumping on it. But hindsight being 2020, I should have left it out there
Yeah.
because I haven't had one take off like that since.
Well, on that same thing, and I know we talked about this before, but I want to reiterate this with everybody listening, that you know the tactic is typically you can go pay somebody to start doing ads for you, right? But everybody runs ads and then hopes it works. You
Right.
need to kind of flip that whole process and flip that mindset, and you need to post, you know, as much as you can, and then find out what gets the numbers, what does the best, and then turn that into an ad. You
Right.
know, don't don't just pay money to like boost something that nobody wanted,
Right.
right? So you want to separate yourself from 90% of the people that run ads,
Mm.
put out content organically, and then something that hits, take that, turn it into ad. Because then you know it works. It's already predetermined to work, and the ad's
Mhm.
going to produce for you. And then you can just, I mean, folks, the way that ads work is if you got one that works, you just dump money into it, and more money comes out on the other end. It's actually
Really
fascinating
easy.
to watch.
Well, and
Fascinating to watch.
the other side is I'm gonna throw this in here. Don't be scared of running an ad because a lot of people are scared of even running the ad. I know so many businesses that are not running any paid ads whatsoever right now,
Yeah.
and you don't have to invest a ton into validating an idea. You can spend $3 a day or $5 a day on something and get a solid idea of where it goes and be done with it. I've spent as little as $2 a day on an ad and gotten the return pretty dang quick.
Yeah.
But
So I can
you
tell you that I did an ad for a med spa. It was
Mhm.
Black Friday. We did a whole week's worth of ads, short videos. They were a minute to 90 seconds. It was just telling you because they had a deal every single day leading
Mhm.
up to Black Friday, and Black Friday was going to be like the biggest day. In 1 week, we did $250,000, and we spent that's revenue, not
Mhm.
profit, but quarter million
Yeah.
dollars in revenue, and I spent $500. So
Wow.
you tell me if I could walk into any business and say, not any business, but you know what I'm just generally saying.
Mhm.
If I walk in and say, "Hey, give me $500, I'll give you 250 grand." Who's going to tell me no?
Right.
Now, did I use this was a few years ago where did I do the whole put organic stuff out there? No, but I already knew it was going to work because I was using Black Friday as the catalyst,
Hmm.
and I was sending to an already interested group of people. So that's marketing nerd stuff. But the point is, if you have something that works, and this is why you should be putting out massive, myself included, massive pieces of organic content. If you find something that works, you literally can just put very little money into it, and it will be effective for you.
Well, how many business owners, how many marketers? I'll be honest with you, and this sounds like this sounds like bragging, but it's really not. How many marketers, how many people who have run ads can literally say they spent $500 and made a quarter million off of it? It's
I
not
don't know.
many.
No.
I'm just telling you, it's not many. That's something you need to lead with.
Yeah.
That's something you need to lead with. You know, because to be honest with you, that's a value statement. Like there's a lot of business owners like, shoot, if I give you $500 now, well, I mean, of course, that's how much we spent on it. That's not how much they paid you for it. But you
Right.
get where I'm going with it.
Yeah. And
Um,
and and to be honest, the MedSpa stuff that it's an expensive product, so
it's easy to
it's
sell.
easier to get to that quarter million than it is to like a coffee shop is not going
Hmm.
to make a $250,000 in a week because that's a lot of coffee.
Right.
You know.
But what's going to move the needle for your business depend is your mileage may vary. If
Yeah,
you're selling
it's
something that's low
relative
ticket.
though. It's
Yeah.
relative though. So a coffee shop puts in $5, they get 250, or you know what I mean?
Right.
That's still, to me, you put in $1 a day and I get you $250. You do that every week. It's an extra 12 grand a year.
Right. But that's why I keep saying, that's what I'm telling people. Don't be scared of ads. Don't
Yeah.
be scared of ads. If you got something that's good that people responded to, make it into an ad. Put a little bit of money behind it and blast it out there. The biggest mistake the business owners are going to screw up, and I've seen it time and time again, is you create an ad for your Facebook page and you don't have Facebook Pixel. So you can't really track what traffic's gone to your website from it or anything else. You don't have any information to build another ad to target it that same way.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing in the world to do to create a Facebook pixel. And if you don't know how to do it, you need to contact me or Brian, and we can sit down and, for a
Mhm.
generous fee, we will absolutely help you create a Facebook pixel for your website and for
Yeah.
your Facebook page. But if you're not tracking this stuff, if you're not tracking it, there's no way you can replicate the outcomes, especially if you have an ad that goes like gangbusters.
Yeah. 100%. I think ads are ads are fun when they're working for you. When they're not, they can be frustrating. They
Yeah.
break or something, but um and there's a whole thing. We could do a whole session about ads, and maybe that's something we you know go down the road sometime with. But um, ads are really fun when you have stuff hitting because it
Right.
is just a dump money in, and way more money pours out on the other end.
Yeah. It's cool, and it feel it yeah, I hate to say it, but it just it really does feel cool when you have an ad that works.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's other aspects to it, right? Like, you don't, let's say you are a restaurant or something like that. You can't, you have there's a ceiling for you.
Right.
I can't bring 1,000 people into your restaurant. It would crush you.
Right.
People are like, "I'd take 1,000 people." No, you wouldn't.
Well, but
You
here's the
know?
other side. I've worked with a restaurant,
Mhm.
um, and they didn't run ads. And I'm like, "You're not running ads?" "No, we're not." How much you paying your marketing company?" "We're paying the marketing company a couple $1,000s a month." "You're paying them a couple $1,000s a month, and they are not running ads for you?"
Mhm.
And it's like, that's malpractice. They're stealing from you guys.
Yeah.
Why are they not running, or at least have a conversation about ads for your business? What's going on here? And I think that's a problem. You know, I'll be honest with you,
Yeah.
that's a real problem because how do people know you exist? How do they
Yeah,
even know
like,
you exist?
yeah, 100%, and that just reminded me of something. There's levels. I was talking to, uh actually, he's a member of the Foundry, Scott. I was talking to
Uh-huh.
Scott, and we were talking about how he has a ceiling of where he wants to go with how much work he can handle, right? He wants to
Yeah.
remain a one man show, doesn't want, um, but he also understands, after talking with Brian and I several times, he understands that there's levels to marketing. There's I shouldn't say levels. There's phases or avenues that you live in. He wants to live in the brand awareness one. He's not trying to grow his company. He's trying to remain top of mind. So if he just stopped
Yeah.
doing marketing, he has his schedule's full right now. He has lots of contacts. People, re-up and they come to him, um, to come do their carpets. He has all this clientele. But inevitably, if he stopped doing networking and he stopped putting stuff out on social media, that complacency will cost him. People will not use him anymore. They will forget about him. They won't
Yep.
be reminded to, like, oh shit, I should get my carpets cleaned, and he'll stay top of mind.
Right.
That's like phase one or phase two of marketing. Phase one, I don't know if I can do them all off the top of my head, but I can tell you there's go to market. That's phase one.
Hmm.
That's like you're just starting out. You need people, boom, 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 boom. That's go to market. There's phase two, which is brand awareness, right? It's kind of
Right.
like a funnel, but it's not a funnel. This is just marketing generally speaking. There's so go to market, um, awareness, and then you have growth, for lack of a better word. There's probably other phases. I'm trying to generalize it a little bit
Yeah.
here.
I got it.
So that's the kind of content you're putting out there. You're putting out, hey, just you're putting out content to stay top of mind. And that could be a thing for a lot of people just need to do that.
Yeah.
And then you have the growth, and growth encompasses so many things. Say you're slow on Tuesdays and you're a restaurant. You need to put something out there that gets you more business on Tuesdays, right? So you
Right.
come up with some sort of ad campaign or some sort of content campaign that puts out there that is trying to grow Tuesday nights, right? But everything else you put out is just for to maintain awareness. I'm getting a little nerdy, but like we could do a
Yeah.
whole show on that as well. The phases of marketing that you should live in for your business. It depends on what phase you are in your business. Are you just trying to get homeostasis, or are you trying to grow,
Right.
or are you just
Yeah.
starting?
And I think that that's really, figuring out what business you want to live in. Like, what do you
Hmm.
want your business to be? Because here's the other side from business ownership. If you have a business that you actively hate, you've created a job for yourself.
Hmm.
And I think that's something that's the side of business ownership that people don't discuss is you create a job for yourself with a terrible boss who's you yourself, and you're not enjoying any of it. And so you do have to put some thought about how do I want what lifestyle how do I want this business to shape my life. Um, I was going to go into owning a franchise about 10 years ago, and I worked in the franchise for about 5 months and realized this is killing my soul. I
Hmm.
hate this so much. I'm like, do I want to do this for the rest of my life? No, I don't. I don't want to anchor myself to this thing.
Right.
There are other canaries in the coal mine, but I'm like, I don't want to anchor myself to this thing. I'd rather do it my own way. And so I had to make the very tough, it was a hard decision to say, I'm walking away from that. I
Right.
don't want to do it. And business owners got to do that. Like, you got to make the hard decision. And then sometimes it is saying no to a project you would normally say yes to.
Yeah. No one to hold them, no one to fold them. Right.
Yeah. I I could tell you from experience, taking on a project that I've been burned every single time that I've taken on a project that I felt like I had to, and I didn't really wasn't passionate about it. Every single time, it's turned into a nightmare. It's turned bad.
Yeah.
And if I have that level of trepidation about it at this point, I'm experienced enough to say, I know how much money is being offered on the table. This is not going to work for me.
Right. And I can tell you, this is just my experience, that I try to instill upon other marketers as well, is that when I am approached with those types of project where they initially the gut instinct is like, I don't, this is going to be a nightmare.
Hmm.
I I will overextend the price to a point where, like, I'd do it for that.
Hmm.
And then that's happened a few times, a handful of times where they're like, "Okay." And you're like, "Bet, let's go. I can do it now." Like, I don't mind doing it now because, you know, and that may seem kind of shitty. I apologize. That seems shitty to some people, but that's I'm telling you to do that
Right.
to people because that way you're compensated for the value you provide,
Right.
right? And I think that's a perfectly fine thing in business is to should be compensated on what you determine the value is for your time on that said project.
Right.
Value-based pricing is what it is.
Right. And I think not enough businesses do that. I've seen too many businesses out there feel like they take on jobs they're not enthusiastic about. And it's not just that they don't want to do them, they actively hate what they're doing.
Right.
And then them in the process of them hating what they do, something goes sideways, something goes askew, something goes awry. And now this project turns into the nightmare that sucks up all their time, as
Yeah.
opposed to saying either charging and saying it's going to cost way more so I can rationalize how much I hate this, or no, this isn't for me, but I know somebody who would do really well doing this.
I can tell you real quick, and not that money's not that money's the goal for everybody or
Mhm.
even myself, but there is a thing where your brain, that part, the stuff you hate doing, your brain will tick off that part if it's like, well, what if I gave you 4 times the amount of money you usually would do it for?
Mhm.
It just all of a sudden clicks off. You're like, yeah, I'd do it,
Yeah,
and
I
then you
get it.
handle it. And actually, the times that I thought those things would go bad, those projects, and I've
Mm.
overextended it, said it's going to cost you this much. Um, they've actually turned out pretty well and became either a long term client or a repeat client, and it ended up being good because this is so weird. This is coming full circle now because what's
Mhm.
happened is now they've paid that amount of money. You delivered it with without that angst.
Yep.
You did it more efficiently, usually, and they now see the value in you. And once, as a marketer, once a client sees your value, your ceiling has just disappeared. They want
Okay.
you forever, almost. You
That
know.
makes sense. I like that. And I think the thing I'll say is I think the reason why, like the thing I had a very narrow specific thing in mind when I was talking about that, which is web design. And I know why I don't like designing websites because I used to do it.
Hmm.
Um, I never charged enough.
100%.
I never charged enough um, for it. And as a result, for not charging enough, um, I ended up I hated it because I wasn't charging enough. I spent invested so much time into it and whatnot, and I hated it. And that ended up becoming something in my mind where I'm like, I hate designing websites. And I'm like, no, I hate designing websites for cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. That's I think. Yeah, I think we're both on the same page here, saying like if as long as you feel what you're doing is of value, it's easy to get things done. It's the things
Mhm.
that you're forced to do because you need to make money and
Yeah.
you'll take anything, and all that turns into just a job that you hate.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we
Yeah.
got off to on that topic, but
Waiting for people to jump in with questions is
yeah,
kind of what
yeah,
we're doing. But I think this is a good natural stopping point. And we can kind of reconvene. Guys, we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep having office hours. This is the place to get your marketing questions answered.
yeah.
I know we're a little bit later than we normally do it, but next week we're gonna really, really push to be on and ready to go
Yes,
at 1,
yes,
and we're gonna do another office hours. We'll probably have more of a topic to talk about, but it's really your time to answer to ask questions of us. And if you have questions, drop them in the chat, drop them in the threads that you see. If you're seeing this in the school community, drop it in there. I'm probably gonna be putting this entire video in its entirety in there so you can see it, and then you can ask us questions directly. But yeah, that's really all we got.
yeah. And I think what we'll try to do, if me and Brian will hash this out a little bit, but I think we'll come to these office hour sessions like these live streams. with some kind of ideas that we're kicking around of like I'd like to talk about the phases of marketing. I think it's generally speaking, it's good for people to understand where they might
Mhm.
live at currently and what type of
Right.
marketing they need to do. I don't think I've ever discussed that as a
Right.
topic on anywhere. Really. It's always been like an internal thing I just inherently do with clients, but I think it's something we can discuss. You know, things like that we can riff about for 15 minutes, and if people have questions, we can do that. But I think I like this format a little better. I hope everybody else does too. It's really helps me and Brian to get started faster. One thing,
It does.
um, we can just pop on and start, you know, riffing and answering questions because that's again, I get dopamine from helping fix problems.
Yeah. Like, and that's why we're like, ask questions, jump in here, because that's the thing that like we want to teach. And so we'll figure out another office hours, open ended Q&A, ask us anything in the school community. You guys just got to show up for it.
Yeah, and I want to put one thing out there too. I'm this is just popping in my head, so sorry, Brian, if this is like too on the spot, but like maybe even like individually, I can go live if we're just like feeling it and
Yeah.
like on a random Tuesday or Thursday or Friday or whatever, and I want to pop on, I might pop on, but that would be more for like the Foundry. So,
Yeah.
um, I'd like to put that out to the Foundry members, and then last thing I'll say today is I'll throw a little pitch out there to join the Foundry so you can have those live stream sessions with Brian and I, and then our combined one that we do. And it may
Mhm.
be me and him getting on a random day too. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I want to pop on more, um, and start creating content for you guys. So join the Foundry.
Yeah, join the Foundry. And the other side is we created that client clarity tool. It is live. It's in the Foundry. We're asking 17 bucks for hosting. It will get you lasered in on what you need to do to reach the audience that you need to reach. And you can ask it follow-up questions. You can have it generate emails for you. There's a lot of different things this tool can do, and we want you to use it. So that's in the Foundry, but in order to gain access to it, you have to be in the Foundry. So um, that's what we got.
Thanks everybody. We'll see
Thanks for
you
tuning
next
in.
week.
Yep. Talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.